All right, when we look here at cultural patterns, things to realize, cultural hearts, where things started to develop, basically mirrors cultural hearts of where the ancient river valley civilizations were. So Mesoamerica, the Andes, West Africa, Nile River Valley, Mesopotamia, Indus River, Ganges Delta, and the Yangtze and Yellow Rivers in China. Those are basically considered the cultural hosts of the world and where the beliefs spread from there. Today's world, you could argue this all you want, cultural realms, kind of your broad cultural realms world, but now in today's world with so much cultural pluralism going on in different places and just so many different cultures all over the world, I find these to be less and less useful. For example, to think that America has one culture to me is just insulting. That there's so many just different cultures. To think that any of these places are unique are not unique, but have a unified and uniform culture. That's just not a good way to look at things. Now, and a language is one of the easy way to look at these. There's around 7,000 languages in the world. We don't truly know because how you define language is really hard. So it's a set of mutually intelligible sounds and symbols that are used to communicate language. Well, this is where this gets to be complex. So take this, British and American English, and you have all these different words that mean different things. At what point is it a language, and at what point is it further down to just being a dialect? Hmm. That's where this gets to be really hard because of a concept called mutual intelligibility. So for me, I'm a speaker of American English. Can I understand British English? Yes. But are there little word differences like the ones you see here? Yes. One of my favorites is line versus queue to mean to wait for something. But British even have a to line up. They call it to queue up or queuing. And I just think it's fascinating. But I understand British English. But at what point is American English and British English going to be different? Because you look at a lot of these words, not all, but a lot of the words that are different for American English and British English are words that were invented after 1776. So taxi and cab, apartments, highway, motorway, truck and lorry, subway and underground. Tire was around, but it has a very different usage today. Um, I mean, just some of these, I mean, that's a movie and film. I mean, they have so many just different things with that. At what point, though, is it going to be a different language? And that's the fair question because in this case, they're not. They're considered the same language. But I can also tell you that Spanish and Portuguese have a high level of mutual intelligibility. Norwegian and Swedish have high levels of mutual intelligibility. So there's definitely politics involved in this too. For example, the language of Serbo-Croatian was one language for a long time, but then when Yugoslavia broke up, it became Serbian and Croatian, and words changed, like the words for martyr and hero changed to be more towards their group of people. Now, accents do play a role in this. Accents, it's just a way to observe cultural patterns. And you might have something that comes into your mind when you hear a certain accent, but realize that accents are really just a way to say the word differently. They're not a difference in grammar usage and spelling, but it can reveal about culture. So, like I said, there's around 7,000 languages in the world. There's a little chart down here as well. One other word you need to know is isogloss, boundary turn word usage. By far the most famous of this is pop and soda. So, what word is used there? So, for the most part in Minnesota, we use pop. Well, the first year I showed this survey, we went back and looked. There was one respondent from Lake of the Woods County, and they call it tonic. I don't get it, but that's what they had. So, word usage boundaries: pop more popular in the north, Coke more popular in the south, and soda in the northeast and the southwest. And so that is an isogloss. But think of other things like hot dish and casserole. Bubbler is what Wisconsin calls those water fountains. Um, Faucet or a spigot. I mean, there's so many different words for so many different things that we have in this country, and that's true in all languages. And so the patterns that develop as a part of that are definitely tied back to our culture.